My name is James Wilson. I'm the Vice President of Sales for EMEA for one of the world's leading software as a service companies. We're going to talk about the sales kickoff today and what we need to do to drive this business forward. And one of the things that was very key for us is this message: don't mess with Cornerstone. That's what we want to take back. We are in the best shape we've ever been in. We're too quick, we're mean, we're bad, and we're going to shake up the world one more time, like we did in learning, like we did in performance, like we did in recruiting. So we have an agenda here today that's really going to focus on how we're going to transform our business, celebrate our successes, and there were many successes, talk about the strength of our position within unified talent management. We have a very strong business there. But also our developing business in Cornerstone HR. And we do have a lot of people buying our Cornerstone HR product. And it's only going to get better. So in terms of agenda, we're actually going to have Vincent open up. He's going to share where the business is, what the results are. He's going to talk about new things we're doing in company initiatives. And then we're going to bring on two client speakers, both of which have experience in Cornerstone HR and also other modules. Then we're going to actually focus on a bit of an education session about what is an HRIS, where did it come from? And we're actually going to role play specifically a sales cycle to you, and a demonstration and a services presentation around Cornerstone HR. And then we're going to bring up some of your peers and colleagues who have actually solved this solution to talk to you about it as well. So and finally we end with Adam Miller. Adam Miller's going to go. So, and then in day two, we go into the UTM side. We'll talk about the improvements we're making across learning, performance and recruiting, the roadmap, services, and a message from Tribridge. Please attend that. And when we wrap up, we're then going to break up into your regional breakouts and have you spend time as a team to really plan and look at your territories and what you're going to achieve this quarter. So at this point, it's my absolute pleasure and delight to ask and welcome back Vincent. So everyone, please.
Hi everyone, mic works, can you hear me? Very good. I'm very excited to be here. It's not just a kickoff, we combine it with some training. As you know, we organized a sales summit in April that goes in much more depth. In the US and in APAC, they organize the full week training as their kickoff, but they don't do two events. And I prefer the notion of seeing you all twice, this time very short, not as exotic as Marbella or other locations as we do in April, but at least we're all together to start the year with energy, be very, very aligned, and know where we're going. My sort of initial part for this presentation is to shortly review 2016, which was, in all transparency, a tough year. I want to start with something personal. I feel I have a very genuine and authentic relationship with just pretty much all of you, and I know people well, and I think you can believe me when I articulate something to you. I think it would be awkward to not go through the fact that I went through something very difficult personally over the last few weeks. And I just wanted to thank everyone for the words of support and the presence, the warmth, and also over the years, as you know, my wife was sick, it was very difficult. So thank you very much for your support. I want to flag that I'm back at work. I'm very excited to be back at work. I need to be back at work. It really helps me. Also, it's going to be progressive, so I don't have the capacity I usually have right now. There's a little bit of a progressive coming back into work. Maybe I'm 80%, 90%. But I'm super excited to be here and super excited to see this large room. It seems like our kickoffs keep growing and growing and growing. We started from one table, which was all Cornerstone EMEA, to one table, which was sales, to one table, which was kind of one region, and now, you know, this large room, which just represents our extended sales team. It's really exciting to have all of you together. So let's talk about 2016. And I'll talk about the regions, the people for which it was a phenomenal year. And there's a number of examples of that. But by and large, it was a really tough year. This is a sort of typical or special type of race they have in the US called the mud race. And it's, the words they use to describe it is it's full of obstacles. It tests your resiliency. It tests your ability to kind of go beyond your limits and go above all those obstacles. And frankly, there were lots of obstacles. One of the big ones that surprised all of us, I think, was Brexit. So Brexit started by making the whole data privacy challenge more acute and impacting the UK market. Currency valuation, we lost several millions of dollars last year just based on currency valuation. Currency and economy in general was another obstacle. Competition, frankly. So we are in a very unique place. We're the largest talent management vendor ever. We're in such a great place. That being said, everyone wants to go after us. So the big ERP vendors see us as real competition, and all of the smaller niche vendors, local vendors, see us as the top competition. So we're sort of squeezed between those, and that's not easy. That requires a lot of hard work and fighting to win business. And then I mentioned it already, the data privacy challenges. There's always more and more expectation of not only data being hosted, but data being processed more and more within the EU, and it adds some steps in the sales processes. So we did have obstacles, no doubt. And those obstacles are still there, and we'll talk about what we're doing about that in a minute. That being said, I'm so proud of all the team that navigated through all those obstacles and fought back to bring the deals in and actually win. And we had a number of spectacular successes to celebrate. Regions, entire regions that were very successful, individuals or teams that were very successful, and I want to flag a little bit of that. First, we had a number of really, really good wins. Just in Q4, we can think about ICA in the Nordics. We can think about Ocaso in Spain that came in very late. Smaller ones like Neoxam, and I can't go through the list. And everyone, of those who won those deals would deserve to be called out. Every deal matters as we progress. If you look at the full year in 2016, we've added clients across all industries, across all geographies, and continue to bolster our, really tier one and world-class client roster. And that client roster, with our business model of software as a service is so important because that's a recurring set of revenue on top of which our new sales come in. And we have 95% historical retention rate, something we're maintaining, which then allows us to have a very, very healthy business model. We had a number of major upsells. So those clients that we already have, not only do we maintain the baseline, on top of that we grow them. You can think about Covea, where we grew them into recruiting from learning. McDonald's was an account we won during the year, and then we won them again by winning CHR and the full suite with them. Quite an achievement, one of the big deals of the year. We had a number of upsells across our client base, which reflects not only the work of the people here, but of all of the companies, the people in the product, getting the product to the right level, the people in support and services, and so on. And we had a number of large deals. I want more, but we had accounts where we generated a lot of money, more than $2 million out of Airbus and Sanofi. That's recurrent. That's net new. That's on top of the revenue we already have recurring from them, right? That's first-year contract value. If you remember our metrics, we separate baseline from first-year contract value. We then had Nokia, Novartis, BMW, McDonald's, Coca-Cola Bottling, Bankia, AXA, Servier, and so on. There are large deals out there. All of you can bring them in. Some of them are really small accounts, like Glion came in at 400. I can't see them on the list, I think. Nearly 4, just at the bottom. That's a mid-market account. I think they have less than 1,000 employees, and yet it's a $400,000 deal. So there's a number of accounts out there that are willing to spend material amounts of money because they realize the value we can bring for them. And I just want to call out the fact that the opportunity is very wide. Not only did we upsell accounts, we renewed a lot of them. So what you don't see from the client sales team is all the efforts that go into all the renewals. It's something we very much